look so divine. Covered in your love. Covered in your love. Covered in your love.
Hey guys, just Nell jumping in here, and I'm going to show you guys how to join the humps on this cute little amigurumi heart. So what on earth am I talking about? Well, you can get this pattern. You can download it for free on our website right now. It's called the Happy Heart Amigurumi, and you can use FB Pattern 2, the number 2, to download that for free. So use that code at checkout and you can download it for free. If you are already working it, you know that to make this pattern, you're going to start with those 2 humps right up here at the top of the heart, and you're going to make these 2 humps separately. So I've got that right here. So you're going to leave one attached to your working yarn like I've got here, and you're going to take one that you are going to fasten off from your working yarn like I've done with this one here. So what we're going to do is we are going to create the point of this heart by joining these 2 humps together, so that we'll be working the point as one big single round that will kind of decrease into the little point of the heart. So it sounds complicated, guys, but I promise you it's not. So we're going to start with that fastened off hump. From here, we are going to identify that joined stitch, right? Because our first stitch is actually going to go right here into that same stitch as join on the fastened off hump. And what's going to happen when we do that, because our working yarn is still attached to our second hump, is this is going to actually join them together. So it's really easy peasy, guys. All you do is just put your hook into that first stitch, just like you would in anything else. It doesn't matter that it's on a different piece. Then you're just going to yarn over using that working yarn. Be careful, you got a few tails going on there, so don't grab a tail by accident. Make sure you grab your working yarn. We'll yarn over, draw through, so we've got those 2 loops on our hook, and then we'll just yarn over and draw through, working that first single crochet. And as you can see, it's in my second hump, or in that first hump, that fastened off hump. There we go. We'll call it the fastened off hump. It's into the fastened off hump instead of the working hump. So, and as you can see as well, it has successfully joined those together. So from here, what I need to do is I need to continue to place stitches. I'm going to put 14 more single crochets, 1 in each of the next 14 on that fastened off hump. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll join back up with you. All right, my friends, and we are back. So I've got those 15 stitches, beginning with that first stitch that joined, and then those 14 additional single crochets in that fastened off hump. And that leaves me right here at the end of that first hump with 3 stitches left. So I'm going to leave those stitches unworked. And the reason I'm going to do that is because these humps are going to join over here on this other side, joining back to that hump with the working yarn to continue this round. So those little stitches in the middle we're going to leave unworked, and don't worry, we'll close those up. It's not going to leave a hole. What it's going to do is it is going to create this little space right here that goes right between those humps on the heart. If we didn't leave those stitches unworked, that would get squished down and make it all flat. So we wanted to leave it nice and puffed out at the top. So that's where those 3 stitches are coming from. So we have to leave the 3 stitches on this side, but we also have to leave the 3 stitches that are going to match it right there on the other side. So you can see how those kind of match. So I'm going to count on my other side, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to skip those first 3 stitches, and I'm going to stitch into this 4th single crochet on the other side. So again, it doesn't matter that my yarn is attached to my other hump right now. As a matter of fact, that's really good, because when I yarn over and pull through to pull up those 2 loops, as we can see, it's already joined my yarn there. So I'm going to go on and pull through, and now all I have to do is place those remaining 14 single crochets all the way around the edge of that second hump. And then what we'll do is we'll join right back here to that first single crochet that we put in the other hump. So I'm going to put those 14 single crochets in it, and I'll meet you right back at the join. All right, my friends, and we are back. So we've gone all the way around both of those humps now, and we've come back to that initial stitch. So that initial stitch is right here in that other hump. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my hook right into that first stitch, just like I would with any other joint. We'll yarn over and draw through, taking that second loop through the first to pull that slip stitch, and then we'll chain one and get ready to start that next row. So from here, we're gonna pause work on the rounds of the points because I wanna show you how to close this inside bit. So as we can see, right now, those humps are joined on both the front and the back side, but that middle part is open. So the way we can fix this is we're gonna use that tail that was on the fastened off hump, and we're actually gonna use that to sew these humps together in that little middle piece. And my goodness, here I am throwing my sewing needles everywhere. So I like to use a bent tip needle, but totally do you. It is totally not necessary. This is just me being extra and because I really like these. So I'm using a bent tip needle, but any yarn needle will do. And you're just gonna take that yarn, get it right through that yarn needle, however you like to thread. And then this is easy peasy, you guys. All you're gonna do is you're just gonna go under those stitches, both sets, right down that center line there. And we're just gonna put a few little stitches, closing it up. Whoops, and I'm coming off the camera for you guys. Look at that, that was silly. So if your yarn comes off, don't worry about it. No big deal, just thread it back through. We'll throw a couple more stitches in there, just kind of securing it through. You can bind it off or weave in that tail, however you prefer to do that. I generally just kind of weave it back and forth a few times. And then since this is going to be on the inside, you can just let that tail fall right to the inside of your work and it's not going to show. So as you can see, we're closed up on the outside now. That tail is tucked to the inside. We can tuck any of those other tails because you're also going to have those tails from the beginning from your magic circles as well. And you can always use those as well to also help you tuck or attach little embellishments, whatever you like. And then from here, you're just going to go back, pick up that working yarn, and you are ready to start the next round with your joined humps. And that next round will just work all the way around both of those humps. So easy peasy, guys. So make your hearts and tag me when you finish. I would love to see your creations, you guys. Let's share the love. Have a great day, guys. Hope that helped. Bye.